Old has somehow become synonymous with antiquated. In the ever-evolving marketplace of capitalism, old is shrugged off as irrelevant unless it can be repurposed, repackaged, and recycled into something new for consumers. But what about our legacy? Our relationship to the land? That's old. Our ability to communicate? Also old. The lessons of our ancestors? The wisdom of Earth? The technology of our bodies? Old, also old. So perhaps old is not quite as antiquated as modernity would have us believe, because isn't the old the foundation on which the new is built? Much like the metaphor of story. Storytelling is old technology, yet because we've been taught how to tell stories, we have the framework to craft and share new stories, along with passing down those that have lived in our hearts for generations. Our Indigenous communities have such access to what is old for each of them. Not only is story part of the canon, earth-based wisdom still accompanies us from generations long before we know, whispering in our ears how to love our great planet and all of her inhabitants. The everlasting shape of the circle, too, is an old but never obsolete gift from our ancestors, setting the pathway before us to construct our strongest, most resilient communities and sustainable structures of care and sharing.
Have times of rest, have times of growth.
Nourishing your soul, body, mind, spirit, and allowing yourself to be okay and present in the moment.
It's through these gifts of old that we see the shapes of what is new more clearly. Like glasses putting into sharp focus the otherwise watercolored world around us, we have the teachings of old to help us hold the evolution of new, helping each of us to discern what is kept, what is released, and what form each phase of evolution takes for us. Many of our ancestors never saw the digital technology we now carry naturally in our hands. Perhaps they didn't teach us exactly how to interact with it, but in their footsteps we walk with grace and wisdom into these unknown portals, ensuring the integrity of our communal and earthen priorities through all we do.
Considering how to run your business model like a living, breathing thing, something that takes time to grow.
We are building the way for our future generations, for our children.
Being present in the moment.
In the same way, our ancestors didn't see the ease of access to global communities we now experience, the ability to lift a phone and transmit our faces and intentions globally, or to travel the globe with the click of a button and trip on an airplane. They also likely didn't envision the dire sickness of our planet and her craving for attention and care as never before.
Perhaps none of us are individually experts in how this age of technology and change will affect the future, but one thing we can rely on is the expertise and wisdom of our ancestors, that wisdom which expresses through us and the knowledge we carry. We need not see the future to be confident of the decisions we make. We need only enact the wisdom we know has survived us generations on this earth until now, and trust that through those same principles we can weave a future for our future ancestors to also thrive in their footsteps on this planet.
It's the same foundation that has allowed aunties before us to explore the best practices of modern commerce and bring their gifts of wisdom back to the circle to share what is effective and what is important now. Through their learnings and lived experience, like our ancestors before them, they have been able to distill what is relevant and share the most pertinent old lessons, while also leaving room for new lessons, shrinking the learning curve for the next generation of Indigenous artists, leaders, and entrepreneurs.
You can decolonize your business and change your relationship with money by rewiring the framework to do what feels good and is aligned with your values.
Are you wearing small shoes? Am I not thinking bigger?
Keep going. Be a rock star. Just be that leader.
The world needs palpable Indigenous wisdom in action now more than ever. It's easy to fall prey to the panic of how global commerce has affected our communities and our culture, but to succumb to the fear would be to bypass the importance of prioritizing Indigenous wisdom and its power to influence not only the survival, but the thriving of the planet and our human family. Aunties are already creating Indigenous wisdom streams in previously non-Indigenous spaces by providing their wisdom in a communal, regenerative, circular way to the next generation, so the activation and amplification of these essential practices can be offered on a global scale and integrated into our present way of being, in the way we choose to define it. Because there is no division, no separate, when it comes to community, commerce, and care of our children, both now and in the future.